Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And when you do subscribe, be sure to hit the notification bell so that every time I drop a video, you will know about it. Today, I want to bring a story straight out of Fort Worth, Texas. This was on the news about 3 days ago. And it's about a 16-year-old kid who bought a car at a dealership, but then a few months after he had paid cash for it, it was repossessed while he was shopping. He can't understand why. And so there are many lessons in this story, which is why I'm bringing this story to you. Lessons on, money management, lessons on knowing the law, when it comes to buying property and buying cars and stuff, and the importance of having everything done in writing and having everything that you need in writing. Now, let's go back a few years. I remember when I used to work at Minyard's, the grocery store in Texas back in, let's say, the early mid-90s. Making $4.25 an hour, $5 an hour. I think I'm making big money in high school. And I can remember my dad telling me, hey, you want a car, son? I had my license to drive, my dad's, car to work and back if he wasn't using it, or get dropped off, whatever the case may be. But then it came a time to where I got older and 10, 11, almost 11, 12th grade about to come up. In high school, it's time to buy a car. You know what I'm saying? Get your driver license. Now you want a car. So dad told me, hey, what kind of car, asked me what kind of car I wanted. Back then, down here, everybody wanted a Cutlass, 87 Cutlass or Caprice or a Regal or something. All those like the most broken into cars. But that's what we wanted, Regal on some gold Daytons, that's what we look at with the speakers in the back. That's what we wanted. Because that was the end thing at the time. And them cars, you can get one for, you're talking about a car, 10 years old? You can get a car for maybe $1,000, anywhere from $900 to $1,500. Depends on what kind of shape it was in and who you was buying it from. Running pretty good. So my thing is, I wanted a Regal, a Cutlass or whatever. And he said, okay, you save up half the money, and then he said he'll put in the other half. Now, mind you, I had been working for a while. I had a job the previous summer, working for Dallas Market Hall, and then had a job like the second semester of my 11th grade year, working at Minyard's at the grocery store. Then then the summer came, so working more hours or whatever. Now back then, you could work all that, man. You could be in school and working, seemed like all night. But then then once I got a certain age, start passing these laws saying kids at a certain age can work so many hours. But anyway, the point is, by the time I saved half the money, my dad went and bought a car that I didn't want. It wasn't running. But when I look back on it, I think my mom said something about my dad wanted us to kind of work on the car together, and they said, as a team. I said, oh, I didn't know that. He didn't say that. I was just upset. But got the car, got it running. Drove it for years, for a couple of years or whatever. But like I said, the point was, I think when I was working in the beginning, every check I got, I was going to the mall and buying clothes. Because I was trying to get an outfit. Shout out to Deion Sanders. I was trying to get an outfit for every day of the week for a month. That was my goal. I think I got up to 20. And I think my dad may have seen something that he didn't like, which I can understand. And that I get my check and I'm spending it. I'm spending all the money, which is no good. So I guess he said, hey, you want a car, you got to pay for it. You working. And I didn't think no two ways about it. I said, okay. So I started saving my money. And, I think I saved like $500. And I'm thinking I'm finna get a Regal. And it was like, no, you finna get this car here. This what was it called? A Cavalier, 84 Cavalier, 5-speed. And again, I couldn't really understand what it was, but I think my dad had more knowledge than I gave him credit for at the time, because again, Riggers and Cutlers, and this is something he said, they're like one of the most broken into, stolen cars, carjacked cars at that time. So why in the heck would I want my son driving a car that it can get stolen or somebody can kill him over? Like I say, trying to get the car, trying to get the wheel, trying to get the speakers. They were killing people for the rims back then, but being young and dumb, they know no better. Now it's like, ain't no way in hell, man. But anyway, with that being said, like I said, I think he saw that I was just spending money recklessly. Let's say BMF, blowing money fast, and was not saving it, not saving it at all. Or look, thinking about no cars, thinking about looking good and walking, catching a bus, or getting too comfortable driving his car. And he like, shoot, dude, you working. You need to drive your own car. So this kind of stuff that was instilled in me early on. So I say to say this, I believe that the grandfather in this story is old school, but there's some things I think that he missed with this kid, that he didn't know, or missed telling this kid, and it has cost him. So here's the story. Like I said, straight out of Fort Worth, this is on the CBS DFW website. It said North Texas team pays salesman $10,000 for a used SUV. Then dealership repossesses it. Woo! I said a Fort Worth teenager had a vehicle he believed he purchased repossessed by a Fort Worth used car dealership 5 months after 16-year-old Jonathan Fredericks paid a part-time salesman nearly $10,000 for a compact SUV. The vehicle was towed back to the Fort Worth dealership, G.R.O.W.T.H. The used car dealership said the Mazda SUV was theirs and was unaware that the former part-time salesman had sold the vehicle. Fredericks paid James Stillman directly for the vehicle because Stillman told the teenager and his grandfather the Mazda was his personal vehicle. See, that's red flag number one when you had a dealership. The iDrive DFW manager said he sold the Mazda SUV to Stillman just months prior, but Stillman had stopped making payments on it, so the dealership repossessed it. So you gave this man $10,000. First of all, no, you gave this man $10,000 for a car, and he stops paying. Stops payment on it. That's crazy. The dealership says Stillman was working as a freelance salesman the day the Fredericks came in, but the manager said he was unaware that Stillman had sold the Mazda. Stillman told the CBS I-10 he owned the Mazda CX-5 outright because of a prior business deal with iDrive.DFW. When you hear this story, man, it's like a whole lot of shady stuff went on with this. But it says that Fredericks left without a vehicle and nearly $10,000 he used to pay for it. Now here's his quote from this young man. I worked at Chick-fil-A for about a year, saving up for that car, said the 16-year-old. That's the most frustrating part, is how long I worked to save up for it. If this dude worked at Chick-fil-A for a year, let's break it down. Let's say round number of $10,000. And Chick-fil-A is paying on average of $11 an hour. It's giving the benefit. If you divide that 10,000 by 11 by 52, say he worked maybe 17 to 18 hours a week. If he worked every week, right? 17 to 18 hours a week, which is, probably pretty typical for a teenager. My thing that so when Frazier turned 16, he wanted to look for a vehicle iDrive. It say, when they went, it say it looked great. It was super clean, nice, and pretty new. So I was like, let's go for it, Frazier said. When they went to write a check, Stillman told them it was his personal car and to make the cashier check out to him. It's red flag number 2. So they did for $9,893. Now, the question I have is, who in the world is going to pay $10,000 cash? Who would tell their child to pay $10,000 cash for a car? Ever. Now, my guess is like I said, if he worked an average of 17 to 20 hours a week, which is typical for a school-age kid, so he took all his money, the majority, I'm gonna say at least 90% of his money, to buy a car. That there is bad financial advice to me. Why I say it is because if that's the case, then that means he has very little money afterwards to pay for insurance, gas. Now he's probably still working, so now he's gonna continue to work check for check. And no, this is not one of our people. But the thing is, one of the positive things that he showed is that the discipline to be able to save his money for a car, for the car that he wanted. The bad thing is he put all his money into a car. So now he has no car. And he's out of $10,000, still waiting to get his car back or his money back. But the thing is, he had the car for 5 months. Now you deal with a shady dealership. And let's make this sweet to the point. One, personal story. I had to go buy a car. Somebody hit my old car. I had a car that was bought, paid for. Happy as all I do, a car bought, paid for. A car gave me very little trouble. Driving, guy pulled out in front of me, hit it. Car's leaking. They totaled it. Didn't look like a lot of damage, but they totaled it out, so now I gotta go find another car. I need to hurry up and find one. So I went to a dealership. It's like a wrecking yard dealership. Actually, like a dealership on the road was a bunch of wrecking yards. So that should have been the first red flag. But I saw a car I liked, 2004 Chevy SS. It was clean. He cleaned it up, fixed it up, patched it up real nicely. That car gave me a whole lot of problems, but red flag that I should have paid attention to was one, the dude didn't have a clean title on the car. The title wasn't in his name, but I didn't know no better. I went there with my dad to see the car. He was like, well, it looks all right if you need it, blah, blah, blah. But when I went and purchased the car, I didn't take him with me. It's because if I would have took him with me, I know he would have seen some red flags. So I had paper tags on it, waiting on them to send the title. Dude never sent the title. Call, kept calling. Couldn't get a straight answer. Then after a while I called, number changed, all kinds of stuff. So I'm stuck with a car with no title, paper tags, illegal paper tags. I had to keep forging some or finding some or buying some from somebody. This, that, and third, and did that for years. And then finally, like I said, I finally told, when I go to my parents' house, my dad like, boy, you still got a paper tag in this car? He like, boy, go down to this driver license office or whatever and get the title. I had the car for so long, just file for a title. And if they can't find it, they'll send you one. I mean, like I said, they can't find the owners at the third. They go through the process and then they'll send you the title. So, and eventually they'll send like a junk title or something like that. And that's what open title, I forgot what they call it, but that's what they end up sending. So they had to get tags on and stuff like that and drive legal. But for the longest, I drove illegal, but I guess ashamed, embarrassed, didn't want to say nothing about it, didn't want to tell nobody the whole story, because nobody ever want to tell the whole story when they do something stupid. But hell, I need to go from point A to point B. Mind you, trying to go to school, trying to get, take a test for the boards, trying to work, going through, child support court, broke as a joke, 1 bedroom, making $12 an hour part-time, trying to build, trying to create the life that I have now. So I was struggling. So a lot of things I could not do. Or you had to prioritize some stuff and take chances and take risks. This dude lived with his grandfather and paid $10,000 cash for a car. One, you pay cash for a car, everybody knows you should walk. Cause I had a title, but it wasn't signed. The dude gave me a title and then he wouldn't even sign. I remember now, he wouldn't even sign the title. He was like, here, take it to this lady over here, call this number, and this lady, she'll sign it over. Could never get the lady, whoever it was. Didn't even know couldn't even get a valid address about, and talking to the dude, he kept telling me the same thing over time. So I thought, well, I just gave up. You understand? But when you paying cash for a car, you get the title signed over to you. They sign it, you sign it, and now it's yours. Or they sign it over, and then you take it down to the tag office and registration office or what have you. And they'll send it out, have it change over, and then it should the thing you get in the mail, and it's yours. Like I said, I don't understand. Like I said, what the grandfather was thinking in this story. But first of all, paying $10,000 for a person's first car, that for a 16-year-old, like cash, that is a lot. But what's funny is the market for used vehicles has gone up astronomically in the past year. Read a story in the New York Post, and I'll post that link in the description box, that used cars, the price of used cars are going up 40% in the past year, which is unheard of because cars, automobiles, supposedly when you drive them off the lot, they lose their value. But now, because of the pandemic or whatever you want to call it, now car prices have gone up. Matter of fact, you go to car lots and you don't see a whole lot of cars on the car lot. You may see 100 or so cars the most. When it used to be made 500, 600, 700 cars on the lot. And I believe, me being a conspiracy theorist, that it's all part of the plan. Because they send a lot of people buying cars before they even get to the lot. You look at something like Carvana. I remember seeing, like years ago, going through Houston, and see this big old tower with these cars. I've never seen it before in my life. That's the only place I seen it back then. It's like, I'm talking about years ago, like 10 years ago at least. Probably more than that. And I used to be like, man, how does that work? You go there and I guess the cars spin down. Anyway, that same company is Carvana, and that's the same company that now bring the car to your house. And you remember, when that first started, the whole bring the car to your house, you go online, look for a car, you buy it online, they bring it to you. You got a few days to test it out or what have you. When that first came out, you remember everybody said, that's not gonna pop because I gotta go to a dealership. I need to drive around a few cars and see what I like, and see if I like it before I buy a car. Well, it's been years since that's happened, and now I got another one. It's a Car Guru. It's another one that does the same thing. It's like 2 or 3 companies now that'll buy your car and take it from you, and that'll sell you a car and bring it to you. All you do is go online. And I think they said that the dealerships are really wanting to go to that, to have just a few cars on the lot that you can test drive or what have you. And if you want a car, a few cars get delivered, every week at the dealership. When they bring it to you, they call you, tell your car here, you go get it and pick it up. I think that's where it's going to now. I was talking to my mom about this story, about how these cars, the values of these cars are going up. And she was saying, like, she talked to a guy who had a Jeep. They bought it a year ago and took this car in for servicing, and the dealership asked him, did he want to sell it back? And he was like, first he was reluctant, said no, he didn't want it. He loved the car, gonna keep it. And they said, well, if you want to sell it, we'll give you such and such amount for this car. They offered this dude 2 times. I think he sold it. They offered this dude 2 times the amount that he bought the car for. They bought it for double the price. Bought it back from him. And it's like, that's crazy. Who would have ever thought that new cars, and I know old cars, vintage cars, 64 Impala, 77 Monte Carlo, 53 Fords and Chevys and stuff like that. I know them cars could, if the value of those, they can cost a lot because it's vintage and hard to come by, especially if they got a lot of original parts. But to say 2016, that's not even 5 years old. You pay $10,000 for it. says car holding value. Tesla, they charging extra to raise their car prices extra $10,000. It's just letting you know what this world is coming to. And if we are not careful, we're gonna get priced out of this country. Shout out to Tone Talks for that phrase, because he's right. Because the price of everything is going up. I mean, it's to a point where it's like, the prices are crazy, man. Prices are real crazy. But anyway, back to this story. Like I said, the boy got his car repoed after about 5 months. The brother Stillman swear that he sold on the good intentions, but again, the guy gave you $10,000. How in the heck is the car not paid off? And you get aboard a title. And it says that Stillman went to jail like 10 years ago for felony debit card use and theft by check. And even before then, he went to jail, got arrested for 4 other charges like white collar crimes. But thing it says at the bottom, buyer beware tips. When buying a car through a private sale, the seller should be able to show you the title, and the seller should be listed as the owner. That's that's rule 1. And the only owner. There should be no financing company listed. That's like I said, through a private. Like I said, you buy, that's just like buying. He went to the dealership, but it's like going to somebody's house and buying a car. If you go to somebody's house and buy a car, and the title has like Chase Bank on it as the owner, it's like that means the bank still owns that car. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're saying. And if the seller has financed the car with a third-party financing company and hasn't paid out the loan, that should be a red flag too. So, but anyway, like I say, my thing is, do pay $10,000 for a car. I mean, but the discipline for him to do that is great. This is something that I think a lot of youngsters should take out. The keys to just take out of this story is that, like I said, don't do like say I did when I was younger. Use my checks to buy a bunch of clothes, and I didn't have a car to drive in, but I was 16, 17 years old at the time. That's different. So I'm grown now. Definitely better. But there's some grown people who do that kind of stuff too. That you see all the time, got the newest Jordans. Somehow you still in line got the newest Jordans, but you ride the bus everywhere. That's crazy. I don't care if you got a driver's license or not. A lot of people that tell you they ain't got no driver's license, but they got a car. You know how to drive, and know where to drive, and keep it safe and keep it within the laws. Know how to drive safe and legally. You can get away with a lot of stuff. I'm not condone illegal activities. But anyway, tell me what you think. Like I said, this story was interesting enough because first thing I was thinking is, the boy had $10,000. It's like, how in the world how did he save up $10,000? They say he worked at Chick-fil-A, so I can understand that. So that means, hey, Hobby Lobby, $18 an hour right now hiring. Everybody's hiring, y'all. Everybody's hiring. Nobody should not be working. Nobody should not be out there making money, especially kids, unless you got family that got money and you don't have to work. But everybody should be out there trying to make a little money. Anyway, tell me what you think about the story. It's a good story. It's a bad. I think it's a great learning experience for everybody, young and old, when it comes to buying, purchasing cars, even just purchasing anything or when you do any kind of deal with anybody, get everything in writing. Get all your documents signed, sealed, and delivered before you exchange money. But anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. Like I say, like, share, subscribe, comment, or hit the notification bell when you do subscribe. If you want to support the channel, go to the description box, click on the website, purchase some merchandise. That's great fair exchange. Now, if you want to do the CashApp or you want to do the PayPal, by all means. But if you want something in return, like something tangible, go to the website. Say make a purchase. If you have a YouTube channel or want to start a YouTube channel, click on that TubeBuddy link. Sign up with TubeBuddy. It'll help you streamline this thing with the beginning stages. Tell you what the hot topics are, what you need to talk about, to give you the key words to tags to use, to help increase that viewership, which will help increase that subscriptions, which is what it's all about, right? So you can bring this content to the world. With that being said, I leave you the same way that I came. That's what